Welcome back, chess fans, to the Pawnstorm channel. Everyone, Spencer is back. Our good old friend Spencer the Jester is back. I'm going to be going over a couple more games of his today, so thank you again, Spencer, for sending me some more. Yeah, so 2 games in this video. Gonna make it short and sweet. First game that is going on, he is rated 1914. And that's also the year that World War I started, which is interesting. And his opponent is, I'm not going to even try to say that name. And his opponent is rated in 1896. Alright, we're just going to go right into it. Here we go. And he's playing with white pieces. E4. We have Caro-Kann, D4, D5. We have the advanced variation. Bishop to 5 now. And H4. I believe this is called the, this might be the tall variation. I think this is what tall would, I think this is what it is, right? I think that's something inside of the advanced variation. Pretty sure. Anyway, nonetheless, H4 and now C5. Black is trying to have white take, and thus have 2 pawns in the center, and also just chip away at the pawn on E5. Now G4, and this, and takes, and I don't know. Okay. Black is tripping. I don't know what is going on with black. Black straight up thought a pawn is a bishop or something. I don't know. Maybe they. Oh boy, I don't know. Maybe they didn't get enough sleep the night before. Maybe that's it. Because I feel like sometimes that happens to me when I'm playing. I don't get enough sleep, and that could happen. I don't know. Also, I feel like this is kind of loud, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Yeah. What the heck is queen to c8? Black is straight up tripping or something. I don't know. G takes, queen takes. Now knight to e2, and white is just up a bishop. Queen to c6. I gotta ask him about that move. I have no idea why he played that. Not. I'm gonna ask Spencer about this. I do not know why his opponent did that. Anyway, knight to c6, bishop h3. Now queen to e4, rook g1. Now queen takes h4, bishop to g2, and go here. And okay, I'm sorry. I thought black blundered their queen. That would be very embarrassing for black. They did not. Here, here, back, take. All right. So far, I mean, black actually did get some compensation. They have 3 pawns for a bishop now. Not really the same thing, but close enough, I guess, for them, for black at least. No, knight g takes e7, f4, knight f5. Black has, I mean, black can castle either way now. Black has fairly good pawn structure. Yeah, white doesn't really have very good pawn structure anymore. They have 4 pawns to 7 pawns. But then again, white is up a bishop. But technically they're up a bishop. So yeah, and then the pawns are not very good for white, but I would say the being up a piece is rather good compensation. If I were white here, I mean, I'm not white, but if I was, I would probably delay castling and either not defend, either, what's the word I'm looking for? Just develop pieces, or maybe just not even castle at all. I don't know. Which is actually which is what white does. Goes king f2, and yeah, what castling for white is, it's optional. It's not needed, and it is definitely not something you have to do here, especially if you're white in this position, because the king, it's not good. You could possibly even be opening yourself up to dangers, but here you're okay, and now you can kind of develop your pieces without thinking your king is under attack. I mean, it's out now. It's not able to castle. It's out in the open, but I mean, still, I would say it's better than if it would be like castled. So I don't know. All that to say, rook to c8. Now knight to a3, a6, a6. That's funny. Guys, let me know in the comments if you guys like a6 cues. I think they're pretty a-sick. Sorry. Knight to c2. h5, rook ac1, king e7. Yeah, white is having some nice... White is having a nice time now, I think. They have the rooks nicely. The rook there on c1 isn't, like, fantastic, because it's blocked by the pawn, but in the future you could always go knight to d4, trade off the stuff, and then you'd have the open file. Which is actually what they go for. So c takes, and this, and bishop to h3, now g6. Yeah, g6 makes sense, because if they would have, you know, I'm going to make up a move here. Here, you trade. This is not good for white. Yeah, computer likes g6. This structure is not very good for white, because it leaves that damaged pawn there on d5 and f5. f5 is easier to defend, but in the future you could always go knight to c3 and always kind of try to exploit that, maybe with rook to c5, knight to c3, try to exploit it that way. But I'm sorry, I touched the microphone there. Anyway, let's see what happens. Bishop to h3. Now g6, rook to h1. I don't love rook to h1. I don't really know what it does. But again, these guys are like 1,800 points higher rated than both you and I probably put together. So we could both learn something from them. Yeah, I don't really know what rook to h1 does. Gotta be honest with y'all. Rook c4 takes now, and now rook here, here, and now you take here, go here, and now, I mean, yeah, now it's easy to take these pawns. King e6, and white just blunders the pawn. Black blunders the pawn, but white does not take it, and instead goes d5 check, king d7. And now they take here, here. Now the pawn is gonna be really easy. You could walk the king over, but then you have to be careful. That's why we go here. We go for check. Now we take the pawn. And now white is just easily up, and black resigns here. So good game number one. Yeah, I mean the end game was just very nicely played by Spencer, and yeah, nicely done, Spencer. All right, let's go to game number two. Okay, so the first thing I noticed when we're going into the second game is that his opponent here, Mr. Dale 100, has the exact same rating that Spencer did in the first game, which I think is kind of hilarious. And also, he plays one of the most interesting openings, which is the Nimzowitsch Larsen, or the Nimzo Larsen, which is kind of funny. Bishop to b2, and Spencer is a King's Indian kind of player like this, so if you guys ever need an opening that, you know, if you guys are looking for an opening, I highly recommend one like this. Now we have d5, h3, c5, and he goes for a nice big center. Closes the center now, and goes b5, knight d2. And his opponent here is actually playing a lot better than his opponent before, because he has not blundered a bishop yet. Bishop to f8. Knight gf3, queen c7, and we push the pawn. He takes with the rook, because that would, you know, if you take with the pawn, obviously you damage the pawns. Now a3. Queen a5, castles. Bishop to e6. He delays castling because he wants to get a nice attack, which is something I always am enjoying, like something I always enjoy to see, you know, when people don't rush to castle and instead try to attack. Knight to g5 now. Bishop to d7. He does not want to trade, because if he did trade, he would damage his pawns. a knight to d7, bishop to knight to b3, queen b6, rook to b1. Here, knight back to c1, queen a6. Now c3, d3, and we take here, take. We avoid the queen trade, the rook trade, because that would just leave everything open, and you don't want that. You can, if you would have traded, you'd probably have to go something like here, but then it can get kind of messy, and you don't want messy. Yeah, you don't want messy. You want Ronaldo. You don't want Messi. I want a Ronaldo kind of position. I don't want a Messi position. And if you get that, put it down in the comments below. Also, if you made it this far in the video, comment, like I made it this far or something so I can see. Actually, no. Comment this. Say, pineapple is good on pizza. If you made it this far, comment down below, pineapple is good on pizza, and I'll know you made it this far, right? Do that. Rook takes a3, rook to b1, castles now, queen to d2. And the knight goes back, knight takes now, and you are up a 2 pawns, actually. We reinforce, so, yeah, there's, you could have gone bishop to f5, but then there would be something like, g4, which obviously you don't want that. G4 wouldn't be good because you lose a knight, so you don't want that. Guys, whenever you have your knight on e4 like this and there's nothing besides a bishop or pawn to attack it, don't hasten to do the bishop, even though it's better. Don't hasten to do it because you could get kicked out and then you'll be very sad because you lose a knight. So just please don't do that. f5 now. Knight to d2, we take queen. Queen takes d2, e4, knight a5, knight a2, and taking a look at the position here, it's rather difficult actually to see who is actually better, because black, both black and white have light squared bishops, which don't complement the pawns, obviously, taking up the most room, which are light squared pawns. Whenever you have light squared pawn, like a majority of pawns on light squares, you typically want a dark square bishop because then it will complement the pawns. And when I mean complement, it means be able to navigate quickly and effectively through those pawns. This doesn't allow for quick and effective movement for these bishops. You see they're kind of stuck here, and that's why you want to kind of you want to calculate whether or not a certain pawn move is good if you have a dark square bishop or a light square bishop, because then who knows, if you have a dark square bishop and you trade off you put all your pawns on dark squares, you won't have a good time, because your bishop will be trapped. And that happens to me in especially online games where I'm not paying attention. I trade off a piece because it looks good to me. But then it was like my dark square bishop, and I put all my pawns on light squares, So now it's bad because I have a light square bishop. And what's even worse is sometimes I do that, and my opponent has a dark square bishop, so they can easily navigate around my light square pawns, but I have a light square bishop. So just remember that. Whenever you're evaluating a trade and you have pawns in the center, just remember, is this trade good for me or my opponent? And how is it better for one or the other? So just remember that. Rook to b3 now. Trade. Here, trade. Now we have rook to c8. Queen b2. Queen b2 check. Queen b2 check. There we are. Queen to f6. Here. And we get in with the rook. Here. Now we trade. Here. Again, I think white gets blundered that pawn on b4, but I probably wouldn't take it, which I'm glad Spencer did not. Instead goes e3, and now we have this, and this, and this, and here we have a trade, and now the bishop is blocked, and I mean, he's just killing here. I mean, up a rook It's going to push the pawn to e2. And after f4, we have rook takes here. And obviously you cannot take because of the bishop. Now pawn to e2, g4, e1 queen, and Mr. Dale 100. I'm gonna call him Dale because that sounds right. Dale 100 resigns, and yeah, great game. I mean, this is over in like 2 moves. If you go here, it's mate. If you go here, it's mate. If you go here, it's not mate. No, just follow what the computer says. It's probably mate. Like here, then here, then here. Yeah. But anyway, regardless, very nice 2 games. Hope you all enjoyed. Yeah. I've been really enjoying the support I've been seeing on the channel, the views and the support. So thank you all for doing that. And again, if you made it this far in the video, comment down below. Pineapple is good on pizza, and I'll know you made it this far. Give the video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any educational content. I do all kinds of stuff for all rating levels. I go over tournaments, my games, online games, and if you want me to go over games of your own, you can message me at chess.com anytime, and I'll get back to you all. I would love to do that. Thank you all for watching, and may your mates be merry on the chessboard.